So Ghana, now your Honorable Sam Jata George, Minister of Communication, is saying that if you want to access matured content on websites, you may need to verify your age before you can access it.
In Ghana here, and we're working with going to cabinet on that to make sure that before you access any X-rated site, you must put either your driver's license or your national ID card, so that we know who you are and who is going to that site.
When I talk about matured content, I mean Mini Papa, you know what I mean? When we were young, some of our friends used to do Mini Papa. And that's what, right now, if that proposal is passed into law, then you might need to verify your age before you can access that. And taking into account that Ghanaians love Mini Papa so much, especially, recently there was an article with some statistics that put Ghana in the top 10 countries that really love watching, you know what I mean? So,
is it a bad thing though?
I don't think it's bad. Matured content is not bad, but for the wrong age, it might be bad for you.
Interesting. But then if 16 is just 2 years away from 18, I mean, practice makes perfect. Oh?
So you think there shouldn't be age verification before you can access matured content?
No, I mean, I feel that it is necessary that it's being checked because, of course, you don't want younger viewers to have access to these things because, of course, we are in an era where nothing is hidden, but it should be regulated. And I feel it's a good bill, in my opinion.
Did you read the bill? Sorry, the proposal. Did you read it? Have you seen it?
I did have a chance to chance on an article that mentioned a couple of things over there. And in my opinion, I think it's good. And most of the sites, those blue film sites, actually.
What is blue film? To the average Ghanaian, if you want to explain blue film, how would you explain it to the average Ghanaian? Let's say I don't know anything. I don't know about blue film, but I know what Mini Papa is, and you want to explain blue film to me. How are you going to explain it? Blue film.
Okay.
But in the Ghanaian society, we call these blue film, Mini Papa,
Mommy and Daddy games,
too far shame, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
This is new. Too far where?
Okay. All right. So I want to ask something.
Right.
What do you need aside the Ghana card to verify your age if this becomes a law?
Well,
did they mention any Ghanaian ID cards or some about documents?
In the article that I chanced upon, it did say that you can either use your Ghana card or your driver's license. And I think to own a driver's license, you should be 18 years. I don't know about Ghana.
Yeah, so definitely they might set the age limit from 18 years, because according to the Ghanaian constitution, to be considered an adult, he should be from 18 years and above. So if we are talking about adult content, then definitely it makes sense that the age range should be from 18 years. And do you think that this is regulation or prohibition?
All right, so let's look at it from two angles, right? If you are less than 18, it feels like you are being prohibited to watch these things. However, when you're above 18, it comes off as being regulated in the sense that a form of controlling what groups have access to it. Whereas when you're younger, it feels like now you can't watch it because you don't have the required access. That's why I was saying that probably the Ghana card has to do with, when you're 18, you can just check the age, and if it doesn't work, you don't have access. But then what if I choose to use my mama's card?
Can I come in here? Okay. So, taking into account that right now everybody can have access to matured content, right? Because it hasn't become a law. You don't need to verify anything. So now if that proposal becomes a law and it's introduced and it becomes a requirement for every Ghanaian to verify his or her age to have access to this Mini Papa films we are talking about.
Right.
Don't you think that they are regulating how people want to watch what they want to watch? Or don't you even think that this is a kind of
a way to control?
No, a way to, it's like a different form of authoritarian, let me just put it that way. Because in a free world, people have access to whatever they want to have access to. People have access to whatever they want to they want to watch, right? So you put in a limitation on what somebody wants to watch might come off as being autocratic and not democratic instead.
Yeah, but when it's in the interest of young, innocent minds.
So are we talking about morals here?
In a way, yes. And looking at our cultural setting, looking at our society, we are doing the best we can for the younger ones, such that they don't get, yes, the exposure is already there, but we're not saying that you leave it open and then, okay, so fine. If mommy and daddy are playing their games, you won't just walk in?
If mommy and daddy are doing their game and you are not aware that they are doing it and you just walk in, that's not bad. It's not a sin. It's not a sin.
I mean, it's not, but they could have done something to prevent you from seeing such.
Mommy should have locked their door.
I mean,
yeah,
yes.
mommy and daddy should have
locked
locked their door.
So in a way, this is sort of like a door being...
So they are trying to create a door that you have to break that door using that age verification something to open that door, to unlock that door, to get into it and do my mini papa.
Yes. So sort of like granting you access to have free access. In a way, it's sort of trying to control, but also monetize, no, more like monitoring who is doing what. Because nowadays we have younger kids seeing things they are not supposed to see. Kids are 12, kids are 10, kids are 8, kids are 2.
But what's the difference between prohibition and regulation?
All right, so
in your own words, not dictionary meaning or something.
Okay.
In our own words.
So let's take
for the lame man in Ghana, lame person. Yeah.
Okay. So for instance, right? Let's use what is the easiest, the simplest thing to access in GH right now.
In Ghana.
Yeah.
Healthcare.
No, easiest thing to access.
Easiest.
A phone. Right? Water. Okay.
Or let's say a phone.
Let's say a phone, right?
Yeah.
Right now, everyone has a phone. At least everyone owns a yam. At least.
Yeah.
So,
phone, yeah.
Let's say a child, right, who is not yet 18. Can that child buy a phone by themselves? Can they afford a phone? Right?
Yeah. Some kids who are not yet 18 can still afford some phone.
They can afford, but can they afford without the help of someone?
Yeah, of course. I know
your own money.
I know working before the age of 18 is child labor, but there are some kids who even start working before they are 18.
True, with the help of
child labor, and it's against our constitutional laws. You are not supposed to work if you are not yet 18, but it happens that there are kids who are in need of money and they go out working for money before they turn 18.
Well, that's a bit dicey because if you can marry at 16, why can't you?
Because me personally, back in JHS, I had friends who already owned phones. Yeah, and they were not yet 18 years.
Right. Okay. So
and these were guys that didn't acquire the phones through their moms or that. They were guys who were working at that time. Where I schooled in Kumasi at Bantama, and around in Bantama you could find a lot of game shops. You know, at that time not a lot of people had gaming consoles in their houses, so they go out to public game shops to play games. And some of my friends who were able to get phones at that time were working as game masters. At that time, when we talk about game masters, these are people who see to it that when others come to play games at the shop, they pay.
Okay.
And they ended up earning money from that.
I think I saw that growing up.
So, for example, I might open a game shop and I might find somebody because it was cheaper. Yeah, it was cheaper. When you close from school, you don't have anything doing. You just come to the shop, stay in the shop for me whilst I go somewhere, do some chores I have to do, and you get paid at the end of the day.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was an easy job. You just have to go sit there and then monitor everybody who is playing. And when they are done with the game, you just take the right amount of money from them so that nobody steals anything over there.
Those were easier times. But drawing back to the conversation on regulation versus prohibition, I mean, to prohibit in a way seems like you are preventing, saying it's a no-no, like smoking. You can't send a child, anyone below 18, to go buy cigarettes.
But people do it in Ghana. Even alcohol. Alcohol.
It's because there is no regulation and there's nothing, no law prohibiting. No,
there is a law. There is a law actually. Yeah, there is a law actually.
That stops.
That prohibits kids who are younger than 18 years to buy alcohol, but nobody enforces it.
So the issue
the
is
law enforcing
enforcement.
is the problem, but there is a law.
So there's no enforcement. So back to prohibition and regulation. To regulate something means you're trying to control it. You're trying to monitor it, making sure that certain parameters are not flouted. So, for instance,
Or some certain standards are met.
Yes,
Just
yes,
like
with the available infrastructure, of course.
Yeah,
in
just like we
manpower.
have the standard authority, they make sure that some products that come to the Ghanaian market
Are
meet a
safe
certain
for-
standard
yes,
before
and
the
safe for
consumers can
consumption.
buy it.
Exactly, exactly. And now to prohibit something is like to prevent or to stop something. Said that certain groups or certain aspects do not, cross certain borders. So, for instance, I want to buy, say, I want to register my new SIM card, but I claim I'm Ghanaian, but I don't have anything to prove I'm Ghanaian.
The Ghanaian.
Right. So why do I want to have access to the communication that is there or the telco that is there if I have nothing to show that I'm a Ghanaian? So in this case, I'm being prohibited or I'm being stopped from having, access to the MTN SIM card or,
Okay.
But then to regulate it means now I can, because now I have my card, I can easily get access to this.
You can easily get access, but
and experience
as to how many SIM cards you can get access to, maybe there is a law that limits each Ghanaian citizen
Well, that's
to
what I'm
have
saying.
only 2 or 3. I don't know if there is, but I'm just assuming that maybe there could be a law that limits how many SIM cards a Ghanaian can have access to or own. So now it becomes regulation, not prohibition. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah, because you are regulated as to how many SIM cards you can register with your own
with
ID
your own
card.
ID, so that when there are issues, it's easy to
Trace it.
exactly.
I
But when you are
understand it.
prevented from having access to something, it means it's a no. Like,
So is this proposal by Honorable Sam Jata George a ban on blue films? Is it a ban on them?
I won't say it's a ban. It's more like a control.
Or maybe is it an indirect ban?
I think it's more of a control. If it has to do with a ban, I mean, everybody should suffer. But it looks like there's this reservation made for a certain group. So I
it
think it's
seems
being
like
controlled.
A certain group of people are the ones who are going to suffer. Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, the high school kids, and then the junior high school kids, the senior high school, and then
I mean, those
high
who are
school
not yet
kids.
18, because nowadays we have those who are 18 but they are in junior, senior,
Oh, okay.
primary.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
at the end of the day, be it prohibition, regulation, I feel it's on the right part of trying to safeguard younger, innocent, groups, even if it comes off as a bit of.
Do you
bit
also
harsh.
think that if this proposal becomes a law, it's going to create some kind of website compliance issues?
Yes, there's a need for those things. Security would be.
It's going to create some problems, yeah?
It would, because what's to say if indeed whoever is showing this ID card is exactly who they say they are?
Okay, so somebody can use another person's ID card
It's possible, yeah. Because
to verify.
the point, you see, the thing about being human is that every time there's an obstacle, we get more ideas as to how to, trump those. So, as I always say, in chaos breeds innovation. So yes, you can close one side, someone will still find a way to cross it. But then again, I feel it's with the right kind of mindset to try and protect this.
Is there also going to be some user behavior changes of such websites? Like PORN Hub, XXX, and all of those websites, you know them. Those of you who love watching them, you know all of those websites, you know them. Yeah. I barely watch them, so I don't know a lot of them. So
in all honesty, right? Of course, you would see some changes, but I think we won't see it immediately. We'll see it over time, right? Probably with some time we'll see either a rise or decrease, or even influence and stuff.
Because I think the same. But there are going to be user behavior changes. Maybe if there is Akwesi or Kwame, or what name should I use? Should I use Kwame Akwesi? I just want to make an example, but okay, let me use Kofi. So if there is Kofi, and then Kofi used to watch adult films on a certain website, let's say every day, 7 times in a week, every day, and not less than 1 hour 1 hour each day. So if Kofi used to do that, now if this thing becomes a law, it's going to be regulated. So Kofi would now be mindful of how many times he visits that website.
You think so?
Or people don't care about it.
Even with cameras, people are doing the work.
That the government is going to have access and trace how often this particular person
Go to
watches.
offices and see. Just look at the traffic.
Hmm.
So I used to be in the IT.
They're not shy.
No, people are bored.
People are not shy of watching these.
People are bored. Just go on people's.
If you say people
history.
are bored, in Ghana, I understand it because Ghana was top 10 in statistics.
The funny part is, you see during working hours. During working hours, the traffic for these sites are so high. It's so high. But then again.
But how did you know? Do you watch it? How did you know? Do you track it?
I monitor.
How do you monitor it?
Well, as an IT personnel, we monitor everything you are going to. And we started blocking them. It did help to understand. So I think this is in the right direction. It did help. We blocked the sites.
IT person, and in a world where people's data could be sold for money and it puts people at risk and all of that, do you think there are some privacy concerns with this proposal?
Of course, because nowadays we've had a rise in hacks, ransomware, left and right. Even a lot of people's data has been exposed to these things. And since Ghana Card is one of the primary verification system we have, that is, it binds your bank account, your Momo, your yada yada yada.
And who is gonna handle this verification?
Good question.
Is it going to be a third-party company that is outside Ghana, somewhere in Europe, the Americas, or somewhere else, or it's going to be an internal institution in Ghana?
I guess we'll find out.
Because that's a problem. When it comes to data handling, Ghanaians don't trust some of our state agencies because they always use third-party data agencies to manage our data, and these agencies can sell our data to some foreign government and all of that.
Or even just organizations that want to assess the behavior
for marketing purposes.
And
this puts Ghanaian citizens in danger sometimes.
It does. I guess we have to tighten the area of security, data security, and we need to value data.
Yes, because we need to question a lot of things. We need to question what data is going to be stored. Is it the person's name, date of birth, whatever? What data is going to be stored? And also, we need to consider the risk of leaking people's information.
Exactly, as I mentioned, was security. Security is a big thing because right now, data or information is the money maker. And now, when you're at the risk of losing that data, you're fried. You're fried fish. Anyone at all can impersonate you. Take out all your money if you do have money.
Yeah, impersonation is one of the risks.
And just, clear you out. Or you can even be, some unknown trouble can be put on you. Meanwhile, you have nothing to do with it. Looking at the fact that we are in a digital age. So let's be very careful of how we handle our data.
And knowing how African governments behave when it comes to their citizens and things that are related to data, should we trust this process?
I think we should give it a chance.
To all Ghanaians,
let's give it a chance.
Should we trust this process? If you think we should trust this process, let me know down in the comment section. And if you think we shouldn't trust it, let me also know. But if you've not subscribed, Masa, you're pacho.
Subscribe it.
Subscribe my why na yingini.
Go Ghana, subscribe it.
Yeah. And now what I wanted to also talk about is the rights of the citizens. As citizens, we have the right to privacy. Every Ghanaian has the right to privacy. So this is a situation where a state agency or a state institution wants to have access to your data. I think it's against people's privacy rights. What do you think?
You sent your data to them in the first place. You already gave them access when you signed that yes, they have access to use your information for whatever. So what are you hiding?
But don't you think it's also against people's freedom of access to information? Because if I want to access some information on the internet and I have to submit my details or my bio or some details on my ID card before I can access it.
Okay, so there are two sides here, right? Yes, it feels like you are surrendering yourself to be subjected to some form of monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but at the same time, it's also safeguarding against other groups that may want to harm you. But then again, it also has a risk of security or data loss or data leaks.
But don't you think this is a personal choice and the state cannot make this decision for Ghanaians? It's a personal choice that every Ghanaian decides whether they want to make it or not. It shouldn't be compulsory. It shouldn't be strict for every Ghanaian.
Because of democracy?
Because of democracy and also because of data privacy, you know?
Sometimes you need to hold the donkey's ear and say, my friend.
And I got for Mebua. Fine.
If you don't want to do it, just don't watch. Finish. Move on. Finish. It's very simple. No long talk.
Oui. It can't.
Yeah, I came here.
Okay, so now what do you think is the motive for Honorable Sam Jatta George to propose this kind of bill or to make this kind of proposal?
Well, I believe he's looking at it from an image point of view, one security point of view, morale, because he stood against anything that bridges our cultural and moral, societal, framework. Let me put it that way, for lack of a better word.
Okay, which one do you believe? I'll give you 4 categories.
Right.
Which one of these categories do you believe is the prime motive for him to make such proposal? 1, political motive. 2, regulatory motive. 3, security. 4, official motive.
When you say official, what do you mean by official?
When I say official, I'm trying to say that he wants to appeal to the conservative voters. So he's just trying to make his office relevant, or he's just trying to make people think that, yeah, he's really doing the job. He's trying to appeal to the conservative
everybody
voters.
has a motive, whether we like it or yes, be it good or bad. We will never know the underlying motive. But
what do you think?
Yeah, so right now, as a parent, I feel like this is protecting my child to prevent them from seeing certain things they are not privy. They should not. The word it should not be privy to.
So official motive, that's child protection.
I feel yes, it's protecting my child because at least something is being done to protect them. It may not be, through and through, but at least something is being done. That's the most important thing, that an action or an act is taking place to at least prevent or minimize this. The best that can happen is minimization. It cannot be totally eradicated. It can definitely be minimized.
Okay.
From a political standpoint too, it could get
that was
points.
What I wanted to say, that from a political standpoint, I think he's trying to appeal to the conservative voters.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
he's just trying to let people know that his office is really working and doing the job.
Yeah.
In that same way, I understand you and I agree with you that it's also for official purposes, or there is an official motive behind this, and that is child protection. For Ghanaians or Ghanaian parents to feel like this minister is really protecting.
Has your interest at hand.
Has our interest and has the interest of our kids. He's really trying to protect our kids from all of these adult content stuff and all of that.
I mean, the long and short of it is the fact that something is being done to protect our children, because the internet is wild west.
Do you think that is the responsibility of the minister to protect somebody's child? Me, for example, if I'm a parent, am I not responsible for protecting my child? Now, if you are using an iPhone, there is this setting on iPhone that even if I buy a phone for my kid, I can still lock my kid's iPhone with my own iPhone. Well, I can even control and regulate which content my kid can have access to on his or her browser.
Because you are a parent that can give your child a phone. What about parents who cannot afford to give their children films?
Then their children
a phone. Sorry,
their children wouldn't have access to how do you call it? Going on the internet and doing that and all of that. They can go to internet cafes, but since they don't have a phone, they cannot do it. They have to go to the internet
schools,
cafe.
When you're learning ICT, and because we don't have these what's the name? the security blocks on these sites.
The firewalls.
Yeah, there are no firewalls.
Okay.
It's just opened like that. They are able to access it. I quite remember when I was in school, that was billions of years ago, right? We had these bad boys who would occasionally sneak into the IT classroom and just open this and be like, oh, have you seen this? Blah, blah, blah. And they'll come and be discussing with the boys. So, yes, you as a parent may not be able to provide a phone for your child, but your child is still having access. So I feel that on a broader scale,
if the child goes to the school, the ICT teacher should make sure that
these things should already be blocked from the very top. From the very top.
Okay, well, which countries have this kind of ban or law or whatever that our own Sam Jata George is trying to propose? Which countries have this?
I think
because I know about I know about France. I know about the USA, and I also know about Australia.
Yeah. These countries are doing something to at least minimize. The question is, they are not eradicating; it's minimization of what you have access to.
Okay.
But nonetheless, see, I'm sure there are more countries out there that are trying their very best to control this thing because it's beyond a pandemic. It's a virus. It's not the best, but hey, better to do something than not to do anything. So it's about time. Thank you, St. George.
Are you an NDC member?
Oh, please, let's not get into politics.
Do you do politics?
No. But I mean, when I see a good bill, I would definitely give you your flowers. If it's not good, in my opinion, you definitely get the latter.
Okay, guys. So, do you agree with Honorable Sam George that we should verify our ages before we can have access to Mamini Papa content, before we can watch them? Alright, so regardless of where you stand, let me know what you think down in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. We will catch you in the next one. Anna. Yebeshia our pipe now. Yebeshia our pipe now. Bledders ne sisters. Yeah, me L ne me R on your cause me free Kumasi. You know what I mean? Alright. See you in the next one. Peace.